There's a new AI coding tool, and this feels different, guys. So let me switch back over to my screen. It's called Tempo Labs, and I think it's from the Y Combinator batch of 2023. Let me scroll down. Yes, you can see YC 2023. And this tool, essentially, for those of you who've worked in Figma or other coding design tools, feels like Figma, right? They even have an interactive homepage, which is kind of nice. You can drag and drop all of the stuff that you can see on here. But let's have a quick look at the UI, and then we're gonna log in and I'm gonna create an application with it. So as you can see, we have a PRD section, we have a design section, and we have a code section, which essentially, well, does exactly what the name suggests. First, it creates a PRD, then it generates the design based on the PRD, and it also generates the code. As you can see on the left, we will have the AI chat window. In the middle, we have the design tab, and on the right, you can basically change the styling. So for example, the padding, the margin, and all that kind of stuff. I would say without further ado, we'll click Get Started. Then you will be prompted to log in with your GitHub account. You have to link your GitHub account, and then you will be redirected to a page that looks something like this. As you can see, it asks you, what do you want to build? You have an input field and you have prompt examples. For example, customer feedback collection form, multi-level navigation menu with animations, accordion dropdown, and so on. So in this case, I want to build something different. Maybe we can hit refresh to see what else we get. Virtual fashion show runway, responsive to site navigation. Okay, yeah, we'll go with a prompt that sounds similar to the example prompts. A social media management app that lets users schedule social media posts for different platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So we'll hit generate and we'll see what Tempo Labs is able to come up with. Now, we could click customize and choose a different framework, but as you can see, it says coming soon, coming soon. So this will probably take a few more weeks, if not months, until we are able to choose Next.js, for example, as a framework. As of right now, Tempo Labs is using Vite, which is also a great framework. If you haven't checked it out, definitely do this. And as you can see here in the top left, right from the beginning, it says your daily tokens, 500K daily tokens. So if I click upgrade, you can see that it says choose your perfect AI companion from our free tier with 500K daily tokens. And you have for 1 month 10 million tokens, and you get access to 500K daily tokens for free, as I've said. And the first subscription tier that they have is Pro, and you pay $30 per month for it. But if you have a specific idea for an application, I'm sure you can build your app over the course of multiple days by just using the 500K free daily tokens. You will see this in a bit, but I've tinkered with it off camera, and usually it takes around 50 to 75,000 tokens for an initial draft of your application. And of course, the more your application grows, the more context you will feed to each request, so to speak, and the more tokens it will eat over the course of the project development, so to speak. So just be aware of that. Okay, it says error launching project, container never started for whatever reason. So let me quickly reload the page and see if we can make it work. As you can see, it created a PRD and enhanced your initial prompt a bit, where it says streamlined dashboard interface that enables users to compose, preview, and schedule social media posts with those features. We also have a user flow diagram, and then it will boot up a container and will start the development process. Now, right now, I probably have some issues with my bandwidth. This is why it's kind of stuck. So if you head back over to the design, you will see it says generate designs from PRD. Tempo will analyze use the details from your PRD to generate a design. So we'll click generate wireframes, and then we'll give it a few more seconds to see if it can finish the task. As you can see, we have our initial draft now. Unfortunately, we received a few errors, but that's not a big deal. You can always click the Fix with AI button, and maybe let me push my profile image to the right like so that you can see it more clearly. Here, you can also see how Tempo Labs is operating, right? You get this kind of main website or page, and you can see the different components that it consists of. We have the dashboard header, we have the post composer, we have the schedule calendar, and so on. And unfortunately, we get another error. So let me zoom in to actually see what's happening. It says unexpected token div expected JSX and identifier. Okay. So again, this is not a big deal, but unfortunately, Tempo Labs doesn't recognize the error. So I will quickly fix this off camera and then I will get back to you. After reloading the page, you can see that now Tempo Labs detected the error. So I will click Fix with AI once again to see if Tempo Labs can resolve the error on the second try. So the issue is with the motion div implementation. I figured there must be a missing closing tag or something where it says, okay, so the issue was that there was an extra div inside the motion div. I fixed it by removing the nested div. Okay, and as you can see, we have our first draft of the application. Now, if we have a look at this, I mean, it kind of looks all right, I guess. So as you can see here, the bottom styling or the footer styling looks a bit off because, well, we have this calendar spanning the whole width until the bottom of the page. So this obviously doesn't look too good. But other than that, we have a post content section. We have an analytics overview where we can track the different social media accounts. But well, this obviously doesn't look good. So let's head back over to Tempo and see if we can improve on the design. And we'll see how Tempo Labs will handle prompts that are more shallow, right? Because if I'm a non-technical user, I may not know what I should tackle first. So I want to kind of do something that you usually shouldn't do, which is giving the AI the steering wheel and deciding what to do next. But in this case, I kind of want to push the boundaries of Tempo Labs a bit and see how it will handle the prompt. So I'm going to say, okay, yeah, as an initial draft, this looks great, but unfortunately the design is all over the place. So I need you to restructure the design in a way that it doesn't overwhelm the user, meaning maybe you can guide the user through a step-by-step process of creating a social media post for the different platforms. Okay, so we'll see how Tempo Labs will handle this prompt. Probably not too well, but we'll see about this. And after that, if we don't get what we need, we probably have to take a more granular approach in writing the prompts, right? Apparently, it creates a new component called Post Wizard, and we didn't have this component before that, right? We only have the schedule calendar, we have the post composer, as you can see here, and we have the header and the platform. What's this? Platform connector. Okay, now we have write your post, and if we say this is a post and we click next, okay, we will be redirected to the next step at media. Okay, unfortunately I can't choose the image picker, which is not really a big deal, so we can just click next. I can choose the platforms where I want to post. As you can see here, it adds the cart, and we kind of have a 280 characters limit for Instagram too, which is, well, not correct, but we'll just leave it at that. And then I can choose a time and I can click schedule post. Obviously, this is also without functionality, right? I guess we really have to take a more granular approach when it comes to writing the prompts with this tool. For that, I want to focus on the layout a bit more. Okay, so I will use the following prompt. That doesn't look too good. Let's take a different approach. First, remove the part with the wizard. Then I want you to remove the analytics overview too. I want you to make the calendar span the whole page and make it look like in the screenshot with a plus button inside each day and a star that shows the best posting time. And let me show you what screenshot I will add. This one here. I got this from a different social media scheduling tool. So we'll see what Tempo Labs can make from this. I'll help you restructure the calendar to match the screenshot and simplify the interface. Let me modify the schedule calendar component and update the home layout. I'm pretty excited to see what we will get because it seems like a small task, but maybe it isn't. Okay, apparently there was a mistake in the div output in the last message. So it will remake the changes for the following section inside of the schedule calendar. Okay, I mean, 500k tokens sound like a lot, but if you have to play around with it because you don't really know what you want or how you should build it, well, 500k tokens are not that much, to be honest. Apparently it has changed the schedule calendar, as you can see here, but for some reason the homepage wasn't updated. So what I will do is I will reload the page to see if the changes are being propagated. Apparently this worked, so let me click preview tab. Okay, again, this looks nice, and we have a plus sign. Unfortunately, nothing happens. This is the next step that we need to do. We need to tell Tempo that we want functionality for the plus sign. Okay, another somewhat long prompt, but it's just about the modal. So it says, okay, when the user clicks the plus button in one of the days, I want a modal to appear that lets him add info about the post. At the top of the modal, I want you to add a date picker. Underneath, there should be a drop down where the user can choose the specific channels he wants to post on. Then there should be two buttons next to each other where the user can choose between image and video. Then there's a drop zone. Underneath that comes two input fields for the title and the content of the post, and then two buttons underneath for draft and publish. Look at the screenshot to see a wireframe. Let me quickly show you the screenshot of the wireframe. As you can see here, date picker, drop-down channels, image, video, and so on. So we'll open that and then we'll hit send. We get a new component, says post modal, which is good. The generation is done. So let's see if we can preview this in a new tab, and we'll click the plus sign. Okay, look at that. I mean, it kind of looks similar to the wireframe, right? So we could change the actual date picker, but other than that, I mean, it looks pretty decent. We have Twitter, we have Instagram. The user can choose between the image and video, or you can just click the color picker. Okay, so we can only add one image, which is unfortunate. So we would have to add actual functionality. Right now it doesn't work, right? But other than that, we have the title, we have the description, draft, publish. This looks pretty neat. So now that we have a very, very basic front end, I still want to show you the Supabase integration, because similar to Lovable, Tempo Labs also has a native Supabase integration. And for that, we'll quickly head over to Supabase, create a new project, and then I want to add user authentication with Supabase to my application. Let's head back over to Supabase. You have to sign up or log in if you haven't done this. Inside of your project, you have to click New Project. Unfortunately, I'm not able to create another one because, well, I've already hit the limit, but I will just use this one that I've created here, social media post. You will have to wait for a few minutes until the project is set up successfully. And then all you need to do is you need to head back over to Tempo and you want to click Connect Supabase. Then you have to authorize API access. As you can see here, you also have to select the correct organization, and then you want to click authorize Tempo Labs. You have to wait for a few seconds, and then you will see a list with your available projects inside of the Tempo Labs dashboard. As you can see, it said connected, and now we have the two projects for this specific organization. Now let's choose the social media post project, and as you can see, it says you're about to connect your project to Supabase. This will give Tempo context on your Supabase project to persist data, add authentication, write backend functions, and more. So we'll click connect. By the way, this doesn't cost any tokens, right? The connection process. And now it says Supabase has been enabled. We have some quick links to the dashboard, to the view table section, manage users, and so on. So now we'll head back over to the AI chat. And first of all, we probably need a landing page for our application, right? So that the user can click get started or sign up and then be redirected to the, well, sign up and sign in page. So let's quickly do this. I want you to create a landing page for our application that looks kind of like a Y Combinator Silicon Valley SaaS landing page that has a lot of money. And please keep the dashboard page that we already have. You need to create an additional landing page with a review section of customers, with a pricing page, with a pricing section, with a hero section, with a headline. And don't forget to add get started or sign up buttons so that the user can sign up for the application. Okay, I'll create a modern SaaS landing page and integrate with the existing dashboard. Let's create the landing page components and update the routing. We get a new hero section, which is nice. Probably have to refresh the page again to see the changes appear on the screen. let's have a look at the actual landing page. It's called Social Sync. We have testimonials at the top, and the pricing. We have a login, sign up. We have a start free trial. Actually, this looks pretty nice. So loved by businesses worldwide. Simple, transparent pricing. Starter, professional, and custom. I mean, I don't really like that the corners are rounded for the middle card, but that's just the details, right? And if we click start free trial, probably nothing happens because we haven't told Tempo Labs to create a sign in and sign up page yet. And this, I'm not sure if this will work because if you have a look at the tokens that we've already used, 468,000. So I will try to make it connect Supabase to our application, but we'll see how this goes. There's one thing that I want to check if we are able to access the dashboard. So let me see, is it like so, or do we have to add this here? We can still access the dashboard. That's a little bit of confusing because you see the new page on top of your project, so to speak, but there's no way that you can see the old page, I believe, or at least I haven't figured that out yet. So maybe they will change this in future iterations of the app, but just something you need to know about, okay? So your design or your dashboard, your app won't be lost if you generate a landing page. Now let's tell Tempo Labs to add authentication. Okay, the landing page looks actually great. And now I want you to connect Supabase authentication. So when the user clicks start free trial or login, sign up, whatever, I want you to link to the respective sign up or sign in pages so that the user can create an account and then be redirected to the dashboard. So we'll see if Tempo Labs will make the changes or if I have to continue recording the video tomorrow. First, we need to run an SQL query inside of Supabase so that we get the correct tables. So let's copy that. And as you can see, we already hit our max free token limit for today. So let me just run the SQL query and then I will finish the video tomorrow. So let's head back over to Supabase. We'll head over to the SQL editor. We paste that here and then we click run. This should execute without any errors. Okay, it says handle new user already exists with the same argument types. Okay, yeah, the reason is I've already tested this off camera. So let me quickly purge the database so that we can run the SQL statement. I asked Supabase AI to help me resolve the issue. It basically gave me another SQL statement to drop the function, and now we can again try to run this SQL statement that we received from Tempo, and we should get a success message. As you can see, success, no rows returned. And now if we head back over to the tables, we first have the user table with the ID, email, full name, avatar URL, created at, updated at, and this will also be added to the users table inside of the authentication tab. Okay guys, let's see how well Tempo Labs can handle the authentication implementation. Since I've ran the query inside of Supabase, I will now ask Tempo Labs to proceed with the implementation process. So let's see. I'll help you implement the authentication flow with Supabase. Let's create the auth components and set up the necessary routes. Okay, so we get the auth layout, we get the sign in and sign up pages. Let's give it a few more seconds until it's done, and then we can inspect the code and also try if it works. So the fact that it's working on the hero section probably means that it will add the correct links to the buttons on the page, right? I've made the following changes: app.tsx, added the auth provider wrapper, added routes for login and sign up. Okay, so let's try that again because I think now it's done. Okay, so let me see if that works. Sign up, we're creating the account. Okay, now we can sign in. So let me see. Email not confirmed. Okay, I will quickly head back over to my mail account and click the authentication link. Okay, as you can see, it says confirm your mail. So let's do this. We will probably redirect it to localhost or something. Probably won't work, as you can see here, but that's not a big deal. So all we need to do is head back over to our website and reload, and then we should probably be able to log in. So let me see. Well, have a look at that. It works. Nice. Okay, so let's have a look at our Supabase. So let's have a look at Supabase to see if we can find the user. Let me refresh this. So we have the user, we have the full name, we have the email, and we should also be able to see the user inside of the authentication tab, as you can see here. Okay, guys, that was surprisingly simple. So let's head back over to our application, and I want to do one more thing. So right now, as you can see, if I click the plus sign, I can basically choose a day. Unfortunately, I can't choose a time, a posting time, right? And this is vital for social media posts. Also, when I try to upload an image, nothing happens. Okay, so I want to first ask Tempo Labs to change the ugly calendar here to something, well, more suitable. And also I want to add the functionality that I can basically put the post inside of the corresponding day with the correct time, right? So let's head back over to our dashboard and use the following prompt. This is the prompt. I basically just told it to, well, change the calendar at the top and make it more like an input field. If I click it, a calendar will appear. I can choose the date and I can choose the time. And when I close the calendar, I will just see the date and the time, right? So let's hit send. Let's see if Tempo Labs can make this work. And the last feature will be that I ask it to basically finish the quote unquote the uploading process. And then we'll wrap up the video. And to be honest, a quick side note, I really like the tool. It's intuitive, it's reliable. I mean, you can write somewhat big prompts, but again, it works better if you are splitting the features into smaller tasks and then tackling them one by one. But other than that, I mean, if you're a beginner and you want to start your app creation journey, definitely check out Tempo Labs. Okay, so let's see. There was a mistake in the div output in the last message. Remake the changes for the following sections. Okay, so it will recreate the post modal apparently, or at least some parts of it. I will quickly close this tab and then we can reopen it again once it's done. And as you can see, we're already at 200k tokens. So this is what I don't remember if I told you this in the beginning, but as your project grows, the amount of tokens you feed to Tempo Labs with each request will also grow, right? Makes sense because, well, there's just more context the Tempo needs to take into account, right? Okay, so let's have let's look at the preview. So we'll log in, and now let's have a look at the input field. This looks really nice. Okay, so now we have the calendar view. We can choose the 12th of February. I mean, 12 doesn't make any sense because it was 2 days ago. So let's choose the 17th, and we also can choose a time, which is awesome. Nice. Okay, we can select the channels. Right now, we can only select one channel. Okay, so this could be another feature that we could add so that we have basically a multiple choice feature, so to speak. But other than that, I really like that so far. So let's head back over to Tempo and let's say, okay, right now the upload modal is without functionality. I mean, when I click upload image, a file picker appears, but I can't upload the file. Can you please implement it that I can upload a file and that I can see it inside of the calendar after either clicking draft or schedule? And obviously, Tempo Labs will not implement the whole thing because it isn't connected to the Instagram API, to the TikTok X API, whatever. It's all just dummy code, right? But other than that, you really can use your project that you built inside of Tempo Labs as a proof of concept, for example, for a client or for your personal project to have something that you can give to people for testing purposes, for example. Currently, we need to create a new table to store media files. So let's do that. We'll copy that, head back over to Supabase again. We'll go to the SQL editor. We'll paste that here and we run it. So we should get success, no rows returned. That's nice. And let's head back over here. I've made the following changes to implement file upload functionality, edit state for uploading status, media URL, and so on. To use this, you'll need to create a storage bucket named media in your Supabase project. Set the storage bucket's public access to true. Okay, so we'll head back over to Supabase. Then you want to click on storage. You want to create a new bucket and, well, you want to call it storage, as you can see here, and set the storage bucket's public access to true. So we'll make it a public bucket with this toggle here. And Yeah, sure, why not? We can also restrict the file size. I mean, let's do 20 megabytes, and we only allow, well, we allow all types of images, right? So let's do save. Add appropriate storage policies. Since it's just a demo, I won't do this, right? But I mean, you know the drill. So I think this is the SQL query that we already ran, right? So let me check. Media files, users can blah, 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 ID, file URL, file type. Okay, so apparently this is a bit different from the query that we already ran. So I wonder what happens if we head back over here, again, go into the SQL editor. Do we get an error? Yes, media files already exists. We can probably delete this part here and only run this stuff. This should probably work. Media files is already member of publication, Supabase real time. Okay, so then we can probably delete this one here. Okay, now we get success, no rows returned. And let's see, I've made the following changes, blah, blah, blah. Create a media bucket, we've done this. Okay, so this should work. And let's see if we can do this. So we'll have a look at this. Yeah, again, we log in, whatever. And let's see if we can schedule something for the 18th of February. Okay, so unfortunately the correct date is not pre-selected, as you can see here, if I click in the day, but doesn't really matter. So we'll do Instagram, we'll do an image, we'll grab that one here. Okay, so this worked. Let me check inside of Supabase. Do we see something inside of Supabase? Okay, not yet. So let's see, test post. Let's see if this works. So we'll do draft. Draft doesn't work. Schedule also doesn't work. But we probably have something in our storage. Is that correct? No. Okay. Okay, so let's see. I've created the bucket inside of Supabase and set the bucket's public access to true. And I'm trying to schedule a post. I mean, I can see a preview in the post modal, but I can't click draft or schedule. Also, I don't see the uploaded file inside of Supabase. So I don't see it inside of our posts table, nor do I see it inside of the media files table. And I also don't see it inside of the bucket that I've created. We'll see how Tempo Labs can handle this. Let me help you fix the file upload functionality in the post modal component. Yes, please. The issue is that we need to properly handle the storage bucket and update the media files table reference in the posts table. Okay, yeah, so we don't need to run the SQL statement again, right? We've already done this. Let's see if we reload and again we choose something, choose an image, put that here. Oh, okay. I mean, unfortunately, I can't see anything in the calendar, but then again, let's have a look at Supabase. Okay, nothing in storage, unfortunately. Also nothing in media files, but we have a post, which is nice. But unfortunately, we don't have the media file attached. The post appears in the posts table once I click schedule, but I can't see it in the calendar. So the post is just gone. Also, we don't add the media attachment, so the image, to the bucket. And I also can't see it in the media files table. And this will probably be the last prompt that I am able to use because we're already at 380k daily tokens. Let's run this SQL statement. We'll paste that here. We'll click run. This worked. Let's see if we can find it in the storage. Nope. For some reason, Tempo Labs doesn't want to do this. Also no media files inside of the media table, which is too bad. Okay. I feel like I'm missing something. Probably I've made a mistake somewhere along the way, but well, I mean, we were able to get basic authentication down, right? We created a landing page for our application. Look at this. Let me quickly show you. Now we can see the posts. I mean, we can't click them again, but well, at least we can see them. We still don't have any files inside of the Supabase bucket. So again, maybe I'm missing something. You still have to be careful and you need to, as I've said, go through the implementation process one by one. But other than that, I mean, if you have a specific project in mind, definitely go with Tempo Labs to build the basic front end. Indeed, that is what I did to build my image converter front end. And again, video will be online at the end of February. And it literally took me like 15 to 20 minutes to build a decent front end. And I was able to immediately start with the backend development, which is huge. And I mean, this is at the end what all of these tools are about, right? They are a facilitator to get you going as quickly as possible. So don't mistake it as a solution to all of your problems, but it's another tool in your belt to, as I've said, start developing your app project as quickly as possible. I hope you gained a little bit of value from the video, and as usual, see you in the next one.